How do you unclog a toilet? It depends on what kind of blockage it is and where it is. You may have different solutions. You asked yourself, can the blockage be dissolved? Such as paper, it may take time for them to dissolve. Do you have the time to wait? And is it small or large? Maybe your roommate will not admit they flushed something down, or maybe the curious small kids flush something down and without telling you. So the best is to get as much information as possible so you can decide your strategy. So what is the easiest solution? It's very common. That is paper, blockage, and small object. There are three categories of solutions. One is you push it in, one is you fish it out, and another one you remove. Here are the list of the tools. A lot of them I will be showing you in the video, but here's a quick summary. The ranking is smaller, numbers are better. Sometimes combination of the method is also works better than the individual alone. For example, you can use a combination of a plunger and dish detergent, for example, to have a better result. The fish out and removal method is for larger insoluble objects. Here are different kind of a plunger. This kind is pretty good, big one. Small one will be like $6 and $4. Here's the auger. This has a protection on the end, and you can turn it like this and go in and out like this. You see at the very end there's a rubber protection so it doesn't scratch your toilet. Or you can roll it, or it will turn, yeah.
Push it out.
Push in, push out. The snake type, you will have to really cover this with some protection, otherwise it will scratch your toilet. This is a device that has a cartridge. You put the cartridge in the water and you use this to cover the toilet like this. This will expand and generate the gas, and that's the way you have a gas to push the blockage out. $24.
$24.98.
$24.98. You can use garden hose unclog your toilet. This is just a regular garden hose. I push this in as far as I can on the top. This is just a regular Coke bottle. This is a male, this is a female thread, and very easy, you latch it on.
It has
thread. You have this compressor air. You drill a hole on the bottle here, and then you see the bottle?
Yeah.
If you don't have a compressor, maybe you can try to blow the air, but it's so dirty. What you should do is have a plastic bag, press it in a little bit, and then puncture a hole, and then you can have your mouth there.
I can't imagine anyone having a...
Let me try.
just a few bubbles.
Instead of blowing air into the toilet, the reverse could be true. That's a lifesaver. And this is an invention called a toilet snorkel. When you really have a fire, and assuming you are in the apartment concrete building, the ventilation is still good, you can actually put the garden hose into the toilet. You can breathe through, that way you get oxygen. And this is a patent invention. But this solid thing alone can push, because this can go over the curve and can push whatever is blocking there to unclog it. So that's one way. If you don't have a auger or snake, this is the alternative. The solid tools, first plunger. This is a type of plunger. It's a little bit longer than the kitchen sink plunger, so that's for the toilet. If you use a snake, make sure you use the plastic to wrap it and use the tape over so this doesn't scratch the surface. You can use a garden hose, you can use a water supply hose. Those are the solid tools. The solid tools, first plunger. This is a type of plunger. It's a little bit longer than the kitchen sink plunger, so that's for the toilet. If you use a snake, make sure you use the plastic to wrap it and use the tape over so this doesn't scratch the surface. You can use a garden hose, you can use a water supply hose. Those are the solid tools. You can use this to push any blockage through, or you can use air to push the object through. But think about if you connect this to water, then the likely problem is what if it doesn't work? Then you will have a flooded bathroom. So that's something you need to consider. I would only recommend use this as a solid mechanical tool to push, or air. The liquid type solution, dish detergent, put a generous amount, such as 2 cups of detergent, and let it sit for a while. Pour a little bit hot water into it and then flush it. Or combine with solid tools such as a plunger and other things together. You can also use a baking soda, 1 cup of baking soda and 1 cup of vinegar. And once you put it in, you see it will create a bubble. You let it sit for 10 minutes and then flush or use some other solid tools. The best way to fish something out of the toilet, you use the clothes hanger. But remember to wrap this metal with plastic and tape so it doesn't scratch the surface. I want to explain the trap in the drain system. A trap is like a U-shaped pass here, and it filled with water. This side will connect to the outside atmosphere. After this, there's a vent. It will connect to on top of the house and release any terrible smell to the outside. From this is the inside. You see the U-shape. There's some water here. Because of the water, the terrible smell will not filter back inside. If you have a plunger here, if the object is blocked in between this and that vent, then the plunger would work. But if that object is after the vent, the plunger will not work because when you press the air here, it's going to go to the vent. Another thing, we need to measure how long this garden hose should be if we use the garden hose to push the object out. The U-shape, and then this will go down. What I suggest is use a rubber band here to mark how long this is. So when you actually push this in, you know how far this hose has gone. This will help you to decide where is the object. If nothing works, the plunger, you use a mechanical snake type of thing to try to push things out. If nothing works, the final solution is to remove the toilet. The steps are, you need to turn off this water supply. Once you remove it, it doesn't leak any water. You need to go to Home Depot, get a wax ring. Wax ring is under this. Once you put this a toilet bowl back, you need that wax ring to reseal. The second step, you need to take this cap off. There's a small nut here. You loosen both this side and the other side. There are 2 of them. Once this is gone, you can wiggle a little bit here and lift the whole bowl up. You can move this toilet bowl to somewhere. Remember, on the bottom there's a wax and dirty things. Sit this on a cardboard, for example. When you remove this, it could be very heavy. You can try to drain the water here to make it a little bit lighter. Once this is removed, you need to determine it's the object that blocked the toilet on the side down to the floor or is inside of this. Once it's removed, you can try use the snake. Put the snake down to the drain and try to clear an object there. And also you can lift this toilet bowl somewhere on a chair or somewhere. Try to see whether on this side has the object. Once you clear it, you can put things back, but don't forget to put your wax ring. You put a wax ring here first, and then put a toilet bowl on top, and then try to sit on it and wobble and try to press this so this will seal very well. You tighten this and just do the reverse, put everything back.